Listen, everybody needs a fairy godmother, you know? Just somebody to look out for them. Some people call me their fairy smoke mother, others their internet big sister, but you can call me Hannah, the host of Smoke Sesh. So come hang out, let's light up and talk everything there is to life. The good, the bad, the ugly, the embarrassing. I've got a story for it all. Hello hotties, welcome back to another beautiful, amazing, wonderful episode of Smoke Sesh. I'm so excited to be here with you guys on this wonderful Tuesday. Mercury retrograde struck directly today. As you can tell, this isn't our usual setup, our usual lighting. That's because I'm having to re-record the intro because my microphone decided to not work. And I didn't find out until I spent 2.5 hours recording and 2.5 hours editing. So now it's the evening time. My eyes have gotten so fucking tired from staring at a screen. I have my giant grandma glasses on. We will get into a little prettier, visual aspect and into the actual recording here soon. I just wanted to catch up with you guys real quick and let you guys have a little PSA. Sorry for the jump scare here. That also means the audio was compromised for one topic clip in this episode. The rest is good. Please stay here. Please listen. It's just one short little clip. But you can tell that my computer speakers definitely picked up and we're recording that one. So apologies in advance. Once again, that is just like a small 2-minute clip. And I couldn't have the intro be horrible audio, so I had to get on here and re-record. But yeah, talk about technical difficulties. Mercury retrograde said, oh, we're direct today. Great, we will make ourselves known. Not me getting off like a fucking basically 72-hour shift and going directly into record this podcast. And no, the universe is like, she can't have an easy day. She can't have an easy, relaxing day. We got to make it difficult on her at some point in time. But guess what? Mercury retrograde, you really just got to roll with the punches. Don't be too hard on yourself. Don't take it too personally. You really just got to be like, F it, we're gonna fucking roll with it and we're gonna get shit done. You know what I mean? I worked like 7 days this week. Your girl's fucking tired. My new job has been amazing. It's been so great. I'm so thankful. But holy shit, was this just not the cherry on top? Thank you, computer, for doing that for me. Not only did it cut out like a little catch up, but it also cut out me talking about Mercury retrograde. And I guess this is just a great topic intro to go ahead and fill you in on what this Mercury retrograde holds. And what really to expect. A lot of you guys have really been enjoying the astrology updates, things like that. And I wanted to include that in this podcast as well, especially because it is definitely going to be lasting quite a long time. I believe actually 3.5 weeks from April 1st to 25th. And also, I don't want you guys to be so scared. As you can tell, Mercury retrograde is basically Mercury moving backwards. Consider it doing the moonwalk basically in the sky. And it also has a tendency to not only shift things in our life, but bring change, bring technical chaos, bring communication issues. I talked about this on my Patreon on like Friday last week. So if you want the tea early, if you want the scoop early, join the Patreon club. We'd love to have you there. Patreon.com/smoke/shawty. I'll be posting there a lot this week as we catch up with like just beginning of the month to do things. Also beginning of the month list. Little ritual for you all: cinnamon and salt, blow it into your doorway to bring prosperity, to bring peace, financial success, all those fun things. But during this time, it's essential to be careful and try not to take things too personally, despite how difficult it may be. Okay, Aries, the first sign of the zodiac, is known for its fiery, combustible, and passionate nature. After all, it's the god of war. This intensity can sometimes lead to extreme temper tantrums, which may be a result of exhaustion, frustration, and other factors. It is advisable to double check your text messages and emails and think before speaking to avoid saying something that you may regret later. In true Aries form, everyone will want to be forgiven fast, but their actions and words may be hard to forget. So watch what you say. Keep an eye out for old flames seeking closure during the upcoming total solar eclipse on April 8th. This powerful energy can help bring about healing, making it easier to move on from resolved unresolved problems. However, you don't have to connect with them. Remember, we have to do what makes us feel comfortable, and we shouldn't be pushed to do things to make other people feel happy or secure. We are the number one priority in our lives. During difficult moments, we may feel stuck due to a lack of progress or positive change. This can be discouraging, especially if our efforts seem to lead nowhere or result in setbacks. It's important to be patient and kind to ourselves as we navigate through the vulnerable times. Putting too much pressure on ourselves can cause our emotions to overwhelm us. So it's best to approach these challenges with calm and gentle mindset, even though it might be hard to do. Honoring your inner child can be extremely healing during this Mercury retrograde because we are igniting the parts of ourselves that have been repressed and unseen for so long. It will give us a chance to look back and allow us to give our younger selves hugs and to amend some of the hurt or trauma we experienced as kids. While reminiscing about the past, we may come across information that now seems inaccurate and feel the need to make change to our opinions. Conversely, we may also have a sense of relief when we finally address long-avoided issues or see the truth in matters. It's crucial to avoid making impulsive decisions or jumping to conclusions. Gather all the necessary information before reacting. Let's ensure that we are not mistakenly attributing our emotions to others by projecting or gaslighting, or that we are not being left vulnerable to drama. We don't have to engage in these matters. It is important to maintain a positive perspective and handle irritations and annoyances with humor. Although it may be challenging, instead of reacting negatively, it is better to adapt to the situation. Oh, did you see that lightning? Wow. And deal with it as it comes. Okay. That's exactly what I'm doing right now. You'll see as I jump to the original recording in a second, it was so nice and beautiful and sunny, and now it's a beautiful little thunderstorm going on right now. Nothing hits quite as hard as a good spring or summer thunderstorm at night, and I'm just laying in bed, rubbing my legs together like a little cricket. It's like peak comfortness. So excited to indulge in that tonight. Gays and gals, we are in it. Hold on tight, stand by yourself, do the best you can. Okay, literally, like I worked a fucking basically 18-hour shift on Saturday. I had my first ever serving shift at my new job, followed by my last ever, well, for now, last ever, I say as if I'm not ever going to work a Saturday night. Let's be fucking real. That's the money night. But for right now, my last evening night shift at my bar. I was there for fucking 16 hours. And you know what? I was literally, when I woke up, I told my boyfriend, I was like, I'm going to have a crazy mental breakdown today, because I was just anticipating the chaos. But I think if you anticipate the chaos and approach it with like, you know what, this fucking sucks, but we're just gonna fucking get through it, you will have a good time. Because let me tell you this, I wasn't rushing out of work. I was having a good time. I was chit-chatting with my coworkers, like making the best out of a bad situation, chugging a fat Red Bull and just persevering. And sometimes that's really all you can do, is be like, LOL, this sucks, but we'll fucking be better for it. You know what I mean? Me having to sit down and re-record this, I'm like, I don't want to. I look a mess. I'm sleepy, eepy, tired. But we got to show up for the girls and do what we got to do. You know what I mean? I love you. Thank you so much for being here. And with that being said, we'll get into the actual recording of the podcast. Anyways, that's really all I've been up to. My new job is fantastic. I'm so excited and so happy that I really put myself out there and challenged myself to kind of try new things. I've been in the service industry for a long time, a little bit too long, if I'm being honest. But I was like, you know what, fuck it. Life's too short. I can't stay at this one place forever. Let's just apply somewhere. Let's try it out. And this new restaurant is fantastic. The food is amazing. The workers are amazing. The owners are amazing. And I have always wanted to like work with a company to run their social media. And you know what? I got there. I pitched myself. They're like, sure, let's do it. So I'll be doing that. So it's kind of like a 3-in-1 job. Not only will I be serving, I'll also be bartending, and I'll be running their social media. So I'm taking on a lot, but I think it'll be a really great step into a positive direction for me. And guess what? All of that came because I took a risk and I went after what I wanted. So consider this a life lesson for you all. You can make anything happen. You just really got to put yourself out there and believe in yourself, and take risks as they come. You know what I mean? I think when you're willing to take risks, the universe recognizes and realizes, like, okay, this bitch is real. Like, this bitch is trying. She wants to, you know, evolve and adapt into a new version of herself. Let me help her along the way. You know what I mean? And I do think the universe will reward you if you're willing to try new things and put your all into them. Even if it doesn't work out, you're going to learn something. You're going to maybe face hardships. You're going to maybe face good things. But in the end, you're going to be able to stand by yourself, grow, develop, learn so much about yourself. And I think that's beautiful. Anyways, with that being said, that's really enough to catch you guys up on. I know why you're here. I know what you're here for. And yeah, let's just go ahead and dive into all of your questions. Actually, should we smoke? Like, should we? Oh my God. Should we be crazy? Should we smoke? Oh my God. It's my day off. Believe it or not, if you want to take a tea break, I like took a unintentional tea break this week. Like, I really haven't smoked that much because I've been so fucking busy. I'm like, bitch, I don't have fucking time to smoke. Like, when I was just constantly at home, doing work at home, you know, working from home, I'd be like, you know what, it's a break time. Why don't I just, let me just hit this bowl, whatever. You know, I'm here for 8 hours. I might as well just like smoke this bowl, bitch. When you're out and about and you're just like, the only time you're home is either to stop to change clothes to go to your next job or to finally come home at the end of the night and you're just so tired you can barely shower, you're definitely don't have fucking time to smoke, definitely don't have energy to smoke. I like haven't smoked at all, which means I might get a little loopy and funny and a little crazy since I have taken basically a week tea break. You know what? Let's get crazy with it. Let's smoke. Okay, cheers, girlies. Did you guys see my spring outfit inspo on Instagram? I had like a little day off, or I had like a morning off or whatever, and I was like, you know what, fuck it. I don't want to just sit here on my phone and mindlessly scroll. Like, I want to get creative with it. I also have just like so many clothes that are like gorgeous and amazing and true vintage pieces and like so cute, and I really don't get out of my fucking house that often. Talk about like doing things that feed your inner child. Girl, growing up, I was on Girls Go Games, girlsdressupgames.com, whatever it is. All the dress up games, I was playing them 24/7. That's all I did on the family computer. You know what I mean? Barbie.com, my scene girls. Oh my God, they were everything to me. Little did I know, I was a little fashionista when I was younger. I only wore what my mom bought me, you know, obviously like every other little girl. And now that I'm an adult, I'm like, oh, I can play dress up. Oh, I can just go in my closet and smoke and dissociate for a little bit and just dress up and put on a bunch of cute outfits. That's allowed? Who the fuck would have thought? You know what I mean? So I did that, took some photos, posted them on Instagram, Instagram.com/Hannah Marlene. If you want to see the photos, if you want some spring inspiration, I had a blast. It was a great way to kind of kick off Mercury retrograde, eclipse season as well. Just indulging in what truly makes me happy, even if it might sound dumb to other people. You know what? It was a great way to kind of utilize my time in a healthy way and also honor my true interests. So thank you for all the love on that post on Instagram. I will also be making another like hi and cooking with me reel on Instagram. And then I will also be, for Patreon this week, I will also be uploading a longer cook with me video because a few of you guys were like, I would love to hear you talk in these videos. And it's like, well, I do, but only long form because your girl can talk and talk and talk and talk. And I really can't edit my talking down to just 1 minute. That's actually insane. So that is the plan for this week. One more also catching up thing. I know 420 is coming up. So exciting. And I know you girlies have been asking for the Got Weed t-shirts when they will be back. They will be back this week. They will be back. Honestly, I'll probably have them on my website by the time I upload this podcast. So go and grab them. But I'll also be making a post about them on like Thursday or something, just to let the whole world know. And these will be in stock for a while, so I mean, no rush, but also if you want it in time for 420, I would recommend purchasing earlier rather than later. But yeah, anyways, let's get into all of your questions. Someone asked how to stop being a hater because I literally am annoyed with everyone. I find when I'm like super annoyed with everybody around me, even when they're not doing something wrong, listen, sometimes people are fucking annoying, but like they're just being themselves. How dare I hate on somebody who is being themselves? Maybe they're like not my cup of tea, but that doesn't mean they deserve all the hatred in my heart, because trust me, there's a lot there. I gotta save that for people who actually deserve it. You know what I mean? Anyways, I feel like the hater mindset stems from you, and I don't mean to project this onto you if this is not actually how you're feeling. I just know when I feel this way, I really become a hater. When I'm like tired, hungry, or I'm just hating on myself, when my self-thought has been mostly revolving around hate and annoyance, that's when I start projecting it onto everybody else. Sometimes, listen, the world is too much for me and I need to step the fuck away and just chill the fuck out, maybe have like a bubble bath, smoke some fucking weed, eat a good meal. Like after that, I'll be good. My hater hat will be coming off. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just need to rest and relax and recover. Valid. But when you find yourself stuck in this mindset and you're like, okay, why have I been so annoyed for so long? Like, I know it's not because I'm hungry. I know it's not because of hormones. I know it's not like their fault. Like, why the fuck am I feeling this way? Ask yourself and be mindful of how you are speaking to yourself and how you are speaking about the world around you internally, because I feel like it will have a drastic effect on how you see the world externally. But the best way to quickly heal a hater mindset, if it's really just a surface level one, is to just like take a break. Sometimes you got to step away. Sometimes when everything becomes a little too overwhelming, you just need to like ground yourself a little bit and remember what the fuck life is about. Have a little chill day so you just stop taking everything so seriously. That's what today is for me, honestly. I'm like, everything has been too much. I just need to step away, enjoy my time here where I am from my couch, get comfy, get cozy. I'm gonna eat a good fucking meal tonight. I'm gonna have a fat burrito for lunch. Me and my boyfriend woke up to the birds singing. We had some bomb ass sex. Went and got coffee instead of, well, we're out of coffee grounds. Usually I make my coffee at home, but we went and got coffee this morning. All the flowers are blooming. It was warm out. I was in like shorts and a short sleeve shirt. In the morning, crazy. Wow, spring really is here. Got coffee, came home, chilled for a bit. Now I'm here. Life is good. Sometimes you just need a fucking break. And when I am like my biggest hater or anybody else's biggest hater, it's because like the world's getting a little too much for me and I just need to step away from a second. That's okay. Everybody needs that. Allow yourself to have that moment. But I feel you. Also, once again, some people are just fucking annoying and it's not their fault. You know what I mean? I know I annoy the fuck out of people and it's not my fault. Like, I'm just being me. Don't hate on me. Maybe I'm not your cup of tea and that's okay, but I still deserve respect and kindness. The ash all over my clothing is actually insane right now. Anyways, let's keep going. Someone said, I feel bad for those who aren't getting fucked like me. Girl, me too. I feel that. I'm like, how do people live their life with bad sex? Do you know what I mean? I understand the whole like, I'm not very sexual. I'm more of like a missionary girly, but like missionary should still be bomb. Like you should still be having the time of your life. Let's be real. Even if it's simple vanilla, like it should still be mind blowing. If you are, honestly, when I was like 18, I wrote like a list of rules for life. And one of them that was on like the rules, what's like small things like don't eat gas station sushi, don't go out after 1 a.m. Things like that, like small little life rules. But one of them was also never have bad sex. I feel like women, and it's not our fault, but we don't indulge in self-pleasure enough. Like the same way men do. Men will indulge in self-pleasure as often as they possibly can, and I feel like we as women are kind of taught to put ourselves aside, especially when it comes to sexual health and just sexual enjoyment. And a lot of that can be discovered through yourself. You don't necessarily have to have relations with another person to enjoy sexual freedom and sexual pleasure. But I think a lot of women have a hard time putting themselves first. And when it comes to sex, you should always be putting yourself first as a woman. Okay? Always. Good sex is everything. You deserve good sex, period. Someone said spring is really bringing out the lover girl in me. Real. I'm like, romance is real. Life is good. I'm deserving of love. I'm deserving of everything I've ever possibly dreamed of. Crazy how literally all it takes is a singular flower blooming outside my window for me to be like, life is good. I'm deserving of goodness. Everybody's deserving of goodness. We all deserve peace. Do you know what I mean? Winter has a way of hardening ourselves, especially as we brace for the cold and we're all just kind of like managing our best. I love spring because it really is just like a renewal of energy, and I'm just trying to feed off of it as much as I can. Build up that momentum again. You know what I mean? Someone said hungover, slept 5 hours, and getting ready for the Easter Sunday service. Girl, you and me both. That was me on Sunday. It wasn't really that busy. Oh, it was so cute. I had a 5-top table, and they were all just like hanging out, eating, and they were all waiting because their sister had just gone into labor, and they were waiting for like okay, like she's pushing, like now it's actually time to get to a hospital, because listen, labor takes 12 hours, sometimes 24, sometimes way less depending. But I feel like, especially with your first child, not that I have a kid and I know about this, I'm just from a medical perspective and my somewhat of a nursing history background, I do know that labor takes quite a while, especially if it's your first baby. So they were all just like hanging out waiting, and I was like, what an exciting Easter. But also I'm kind of losing my mind because I've had no sleep at all. But yeah, thus is the service industry. Do you know what I mean? Okay, let's get into some call-ins. I want to hear your guys' beautiful, hot, sexy voices, and I want to hear your questions from you personally. So if you have any to send in, you can go ahead and send like a little TLDR, like what it's about, type it out, and then voice memo note it to my DMs. My Instagram is Hannah Marlene. I do not check the meme page that I have DMs, so you have to DM it to my personal. Also, I do upload the call-in link every single week along with the questionnaire on Sundays. Keep an eye out for that on my Instagram. But I know that hasn't been working for a lot of people, so once again, I'm always available through DM. Just send in a voice note and I'd love to hear from you. Anyways, let's get into it.
Hi, Hannah. Love you so much. So, okay, my question for today is, what are some of your favorite accessories? I love accessories with my whole heart. I think they're just amazing. So I want to know, what are some of your favorite ones? Like, sunglasses, jewelry, but like, get down into the details for me. What are your favorite ways to dress up a casual outfit? Thank you so much. Love you.
I am such an accessory girl. When me and my boyfriend like first started hanging out, one of the first compliments he gave me was like, of course, like, you're hot, sexy, you're beautiful, amazing, you're so smart. But also he was like, I love your accessories. First of all, what man says that? But also he's like, I love your accessories. Like, I love how it shows your personality. I didn't realize I was a big accessory girly. I think I'm just like a hoarder, not only physically, but also accessory wise. And yeah, I've always just like had fun nails. Either it's me painting my nails fun colors or getting them done. I've always had rings. I've always had necklaces, earrings. I've always done my hair fun ways. One of my favorite accessories ever is literally my toe ring. Isn't that insane? I've had this toe ring. I'm not going to show my feet. I had to think through that for a second. But I've had this toe ring for like 4 or 5 years now. I got it in Venice Beach, next to all the like t-shirt shops with fun sayings. There's like a jewelry store, and yeah, he like put the toe ring on my toe. That was a little weird, but I've had it, and it's honestly one of my favorite accessories just because I love my feet. I think they're so cute. I do think I have a little bit of a long toes, so whenever I have like a little bit of an insecurity, I love to accessorize them. Hands aren't an insecurity, but I've always just like had rings, feet, toe ring, titties, nipple rings, nose ring. That's about it. I also posted my little like outfit inspo for spring, and a bunch of you guys were like, yes, I love the accessories for every single outfit that you have. Whether it's like a joint, I think a joint is a perfect accessory to any outfit, let's be real. Or like a purse or a hand fan, sunglasses, whatever it is. I do think you need at least one kind of like fashion accessory, whether it's a purse, sunglasses, a hand fan. It could be anything, a scarf, a hat. I think you need like at least one accessory to pull an outfit together. For me, it's always just like a little mini purse. Like Pink Pantheress, she gets it. She gets it. Her accessory, her purse. I love that she brings it on stage. Like, yes, let's accessorize more. But I think when people are having a hard time making an outfit feel like themselves, the one thing they're missing is an accessory. Whether it's shoes, sunglasses, an item, a lighter, a joint, a hat, scarf, purse, tiny dog, whatever it is. I feel like when people are having a hard time making an outfit feel like themselves, or they don't feel like themselves, it's because they're not accessorizing more. Okay, not me saying I hate this lip gloss and I'm putting it on again. It's because I just need some sort of moisturizer on my lips. Another pet peeve of mine, having dry lips. Phone case, accessory. But yeah, literally every outfit I posted, let's go through them. I have an accessory. Like the first one, my accessories on this one are my sunglasses, my Miu Miu sunglasses, I am holding tulips. I have a Balenciaga bag on, and then I have like fun chunky shoes. It's literally just a plain simple dress, like plain simple yellow dress, but my accessories, it elevates the outfit. Chunky belt on this one, fun little bag, hand fan. The next one, I have like fun little bows in my hair. I have a chunky belt on, leather jacket. The next one, I have like a headband, big sunglasses, chunky shoes. The next one, I'm wearing like actually, not many accessories. Literally the only accessory on the next one is like a basket bag. The next one, literally the only accessory is my hair's up. I have big hoops in, and I'm like holding a phone like this. The next one, literally just joint in hand, sunglasses, bag. It's so simple, but also every day I feel like myself when I accessorize because of my jewelry. I love jewelry. One of the biggest things I've been trying to do as a woman and growing my style is really invest in my jewelry, making sure I'm investing in quality pieces. I don't mind spending the fucking money if it means it's gonna last forever and I never have to take it off. You know what I mean? Like, think about it. You buy a $30 necklace and it only lasts a month. You're spending $360 a year. You might as well just spend $360 on a piece that's going to last you forever. That's kind of how I view it. Like, be smart with your money instead of just buying the easiest thing. But yeah, I think the best way to find your style personally is through accessorizing. Someone said, girl, he is my safe spot, but there are many reasons to break up with him. What do I do? Is he really your safe spot if there are many reasons to break up with him? Because if there are many reasons to break up with him, then he's probably not a safe place to be. Do you know what I mean? A safe place is one that is literally the most comfortable experience you could ever have. And I know you're not having the most comfortable experience ever if there are, and I quote, many reasons to break up with him. You are just attached and your ego has a hard time letting go. That's kind of harsh, but it is reality. I'm so sorry about that. Thoughts on fillers and Botox? Have you ever had any done, or would you? No, I have this really, like, I'm very paranoid. This is kind of like a weird paranoia, but I'm really scared of waking up one day and looking in the mirror and not recognizing myself. And I feel like a lot of people who get into the whole like, oh, I'll just get like one thing of Botox. It's a slippery fucking slope, and then all of a sudden they look like a whole different human being. And that's a slope that I really don't want to fall into. I understand you can get it for very different health reasons, things like that, and valid, real. I'm also not here to shame women who do that. I am pro women doing whatever the fuck they want. But even though you frame it as like it's my choice, which it is your choice, I still truly believe that you are altering your body and your aesthetic and your appearance to appease others. Because even if it's something that you technically want, ask yourself like where it's stemming from. Like, why do I want that ski bunny slope nose? Is it because, oh, I want it? Or is it because that's what society tells me to do? Usually most of the time it's because that's what society tells you to do. And I really try, especially internally, I don't give a fuck what other people do, period, ever. But internally, I really try and understand that feeling and kind of work against it to kind of break that stigma within myself. And I feel like if I get Botox or fillers, it's really just going to revitalize that unhealthy need to appease others socially. Also, I've thought about getting a nose job a lot. As you can tell, my nose is she's a little crooked. I still love her. Shout out to her. Accutane did make my nose way smaller, which is kind of crazy. I didn't know that would happen. But it's definitely broken. She's a little crooked. I've broken it 3 times, okay? Like, obviously, it's not going to look fucking perfect. And I've thought about getting a nose job. First time I broke my nose, I was playing Crack the Egg on a trampoline when I was younger. And, you know, when you're jumping around, you're going crazy on a fucking trampoline. You can't really control yourself. And they jumped on my face and broke my nose. Second time, I was running in a cross-country meet, and some girl elbowed me in the fucking face and broke my nose. Bitch. Anyways, it's a little crooked. But I've thought deeply about like, oh, do I get a nose job? Do I whatever? And the thing is, I am terrified of waking up from surgery, having my face permanently changed, and then not being able to recognize myself in the mirror. Even like lip filler. I thought about lip filler, but I'm still that fear of like, I love myself even with my flaws, and I don't want to force myself to become a version of me that just simply isn't who I am, because this is who I am, and I need to learn to be accepting of that. That's just my own personal opinion. That's just how I approach things. But once again, I don't give a fuck what other people do. Y'all do whatever the fuck you want. That's just how I feel about Botox, fillers, whatever. I also got to look at Botox and fillers the same way I do like clothing trends. Because let's be real. The same way like a peplum top was fucking crazy in 2007, now it's like ugly and no one buys it, and it's $1.99 at the fucking thrift store. And I feel like physical beauty should not trend in that way, but it definitely is, and it has been for a while. And physically altering your appearance to fit a trend is scary, because then like, what if all of a sudden you have like all this fucking filler, and then, you know, 3 months later all the Kardashians are getting their filler dissolved and they're doing the complete opposite beauty aesthetic, and now you're not like fitting in anymore, and then you have to keep changing yourself and changing yourself and changing yourself the same way we have to keep changing our wardrobe and buying new things and blah blah blah. I don't really want to feed into that kind of need to change in order to appease societally. You know, that's a slippery slope. Also, it's a waste of fucking money. I would rather go on a fat trip. I'd rather go on a trip. I'd rather fly myself to fucking Mexico and lay up on a beach than like get my nose done. You know what I mean? I'd rather have more experiences. I'd rather have more appreciation for life, things like that, than aesthetic appreciation. Now, I do have a shopping addiction. That's a whole other topic of conversation. But beauty aesthetic, once again, do whatever the fuck you want. But for me, I feel like it'd be a really slippery slope. My little ring light died, so if the lighting is weird and ugly right now, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm really sad I need to charge it. Anyways, let me de-influence you guys a little bit. This Dior, like, lip plumping. Oh, it's the Dior Addict Lip Maximizer. Yeah, this thing, probably like $45. Do not fucking buy it. It's awful. Dior, hello. I mean, package is cute, but what do you mean lip plumper? It just tastes like mint. It doesn't actually lip maximize. It's also like kind of a bad gloss. It's not really hydrating. I feel like my lips are super fucking dry afterwards. I love a hydrating gloss. I love a hydrating balm, something like that. This, if that's what you're looking for, it's not the fucking thing. It's not what you need, that's for sure. Anyways, someone said, kitty cat teared during sex. This has never happened to me before. Yeah, listen, you gotta be careful. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta take it slow at first before you get crazy. Wait till you're a little more. Also, you know the perpetual idea that like, oh, if you have more sex then you're looser? That's just literally not a thing. It just means you're horny. Like when you're horny, your body's like, we're ready. We're opening ourselves up. Do you know what I mean? Like I feel like when I have teared a little bit or like been injured during intercourse before, and I found that it was because I like wasn't completely prepped and ready or like super ushy gushy. I just keep thinking about me posting this on YouTube and I'm like, this is getting taken down. I feel like it's because like I'm just not ready yet. Do you know what I mean? Or maybe, you know, you dried out a little bit. Whatever it is, you're going a little too crazy with it. Take it slow at first. That's the best way I can really advise having that not happen. And if it did happen, I say you need like a week off. Dr. Hannah's orders, okay? You need a week off from sex. Rest, relax, heal. One time, like when me and my boyfriend first met, we were just like fucking like crazy. Like crazy. He's a Scorpio, so he's very physical and lovey. I'm a Gemini, so like I am always indulging in any sort of serotonin inducing activity constantly. And one of those is sex. So we were just fucking constantly. I think there's one day that we had sex like 12 times. I'm telling you, like, she was bruised. I got on FaceTime with my friend and I was like, girl, look, bruised. I have never seen it like that before. I was like, do I have to go to the hospital right now? Is this normal? She was like, girl, you just need to fucking chill. Like, take a day off. It's not that big of a deal. You just need a day off. Like, anyways, yeah, that'll happen. You got to be prepared. Make sure you have some lube, whatever it is. And if it happens, if you have a little injury, take some time off. Rest, relax, recover. Sitting on a bag of peas, I mean, with something in between, obviously, don't freeze your kitty cat off, is also really nice and helps heal.
Hey, girl. A few days ago, I broke my collarbone skiing, and I'm in so much pain, to be honest. I think that today is going to be better than the last 2 days were, at least. And I know that this time will pass eventually, but it is a 6 to 8 week process. And I'm just out here in a sling, you know, like I don't have a brace. Excuse me. But yeah, any tips just for staying sane? Because I love to climb and run, but I can't do those things for like 2 or more months. So that has me down a bit. I think I'm going to play some Papa's Hot Doggeria. I feel like at a certain level, like honestly, even that requires 2 hands. So I don't know. Yeah, any wise words? Love you, thank you.
Oh my god, girl, I'm so sorry. I'm scared of like skiing. Not water skiing. I grew up water skiing. I feel like that's a pretty low damage sport. But skiing, like snow skiing, I'm scared of that. Like it is so dangerous. Props to you for being able to do that and also breaking your collarbone and being in good spirits. That's insane. But my grandma was skiing and she ran into a tree and she broke both her legs. And my dad, being the evil monster that he was as a child, he was like 8 or something, and he'd like mess with her and then run away because she could only hobble around. Anyways, insane. When you're sick or you find yourself in that sort of position where it's like, of course you need to rest, heal, relax, you need to really indulge in that feeling, okay? Like, don't think about everything you're missing. Your life is on pause for a reason because you need to be focused on your healing. So lean into that, you know? Like, you deserve to have a fucking break. You deserve to play your Papa's Hot Doggeria, okay? You deserve time to rest, relax. This is unfortunately the universe giving you a physical reminder of that, but also when you get back to everything, your real life, your usual routine, you'll be so appreciative of what you have. So I'm so sorry you're going through this, but also you will come out on the other side being so appreciative of life and also feeling so recovered and rejuvenated, I'm sure. Someone said, went to my first rave last night. So much fun. OMG. I love a rave. I really do. I think me and my boyfriend are going to go to Hard Summer in LA in August. I think that's the next rave I'm really planning for. I have a lot of trips coming up. I'm going to Arkansas for my birthday. I just want to get out into the woods and just like be in nature for my birthday. And then me and my friends are going to Jackson Hole, and just running around Yellowstone, going on a bunch of hikes this summer. And then I really want to get to LA. I was going to go to LA for my birthday, but I feel like that was just too much flying in a short amount of time. So we're going to wait, and I think we're going to go to Hard Summer in LA. That's the next rave I'm going to. Oh my God, someone said, hey, I got swamp water added to the menu at the cafe/sober bar I work at. Girl, send me a picture. I'm begging. I spread the word to everybody I know. I'm like, no, this is the best drink ever. Talk about the best drink for you to have this spring. I get into my matcha era in like the spring, summer. I'm not really a matcha girl in the winter, but a matcha with a shot of espresso on top, maybe a little vanilla simple syrup. Oof. It is so good. It is so, so good.
Hey, how do I prioritize getting up early when I'm at university with a boyfriend who prefers getting up late and working late and that kind of thing? Because I'm so tempted to stay in bed with him, but then I get stressed if I'm not up and it's past 10 a.m. So yeah, how do I prioritize myself in that regard, even when I kind of don't want to? Because if I'm in bed and it's the morning with my boyfriend, then I'm comfy. I don't want to get up, but I know it's best for me. So yeah, how do I do that? Thanks. Love the podcast. Bye.
I remember in my past relationships, it was like we're waking up at 3:30 p.m. every day. And the way I actually slept through most of my life. So no, your anxiety is valid because we need to get up at a decent time and get shit done like a normal human being. I'll sleep in every once in a while. I physically like can't sleep in that late anymore. The latest I've probably slept in recently is maybe 11:30, 12. That's just because I'm used to getting up earlier. But I say tell this to your boyfriend, be like, listen, I'm not sleeping in. Like, if you want to sleep in, sure, but I'm getting up and I'm doing my own thing. I doubt he'll care. He's not going to be like, oh, why aren't you staying in bed with me? But don't let somebody else's routine fuck up yours. You got to stay strong in yourself. You got to stay strong in what you need. And sometimes that's being like, okay, he can stay here, whatever, or I'm going to force him awake. And I'm going to go get my shit done, period. Because, girl, we got things to do. Sleeping in is nice when you can, but when you can't, you got to be on your own routine, and don't let a man fuck up your routine. You know what I mean? How do I kill time while on a tea break? All I can think about is smoking. Literally what I said earlier, when you're on a tea break or you're trying to avoid something, you have to stay busy. You have no choice. You have to distract yourself. The same thing with crushes. When you find yourself in like crush psychosis where it's like, this is all I can think of, I can only think about this man right now, you need to pick up some more shifts at work. You need to go volunteer at a soup kitchen. Like, you have to distract yourself from these over-consuming thoughts. And the best way to distract yourself is physically. Because me and my brain, we be fighting all the time. It's hard to control my thoughts. When I'm busy and I'm preoccupied with something, that's when my brain really can't take over. So make yourself busy as possible. Someone said, BF is way less responsible than me. I've asked him to step up and he won't. What should I do? I think this is probably a big thing people are finding themselves with or experiencing, especially during this Mercury retrograde and eclipse. Lack of synchronicity in relationships. And I feel like the big three in relationships are A, good communication, B, trust. I do think trust kind of comes from good communication. Good sex, and then also synchronicity. I think synchronicity is really important, and synchronicity doesn't necessarily mean, oh, we have to have the same hobbies, or we have to have the same job, or we have to whatever. I think synchronicity is simply you two growing side by side. Even if it's in different directions, you're still growing together, you're still working together, you're still like moving on your own path as individuals, but at the same time. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of people find themselves having difficult times in relationships when the synchronicity is off. When you guys just like aren't meshing, either through communication issues, trust issues, overall just synchronicity issues, like we're not growing together. And I do think that's a valid reason to maybe step away. I really do. I've had to do that in a relationship in the past. One that I was happy in, one that I was having a good time in, one that the trust and the communication and the sex was really good in. It was just like, we have different priorities, we have different goals in life, we want to become different people. I'm working a little bit harder than you, or maybe they're working a little bit harder than me, whatever it is, and we're just not going in the same direction, which means we need to split up and go on our own paths, just so we're both able to become the best version of ourselves. I feel like a lot of people hold themselves back, waiting on their partner, waiting on them to catch up, waiting on that synchronicity to come back. And you can work for it, and you can like voice your opinions and be like, hey, I don't think you're growing with me. Let's work together to make this better. And they can hear that and understand, and as a partner show up for themselves so then they can show up in the relationship. But if they hear you voice your concerns and they're like, I don't want to do that, I don't want to step up, you guys are just growing on two different paths, and sometimes you have to let that person grow so they can become the best version of themselves, but also so you can become the best version of yourself. So very real issue people find themselves in, but I really hate seeing a bad bitch wait for a man to catch up to her.
Hey Anna, I'm a longtime listener of yours and I love the podcast. Thank you so much. It's so entertaining. I wanted to ask, I've recently started like participating in hookup culture, and I wanted to ask if you had any advice for it, like how to not get feelings involved, how to best communicate how you like to receive pleasure from the other person, how to really like communicate with them, how to get your needs met and the like. If you had any kind of advice on that, I'd really appreciate it. I'm just entering my hoe era, and I know you're a professional hoe, so hit me up, girl. Thank you so much. Love you.
Okay, I don't know if I'd say I'm a professional hoe. I am a lover girl too. I actually, you know what? It's like born to be a lover girl, forced to be a hoe. Like, the world hardens us all, you know what I mean? Listen, you can still be a lover girl and participate in like hookup culture, you know what I mean? It's the same way my girlie was like, should I go on 2 dates, or is this like too much? Is this okay? It's like, it's okay to be a lover girl and keep your options open, but never let the world harden you. Sex does involve emotions. You're going to have feelings. That is valid. Stop forcing yourself to not have feelings. It's okay to, have a little one night stand every once in a while, get tested, prioritize yourself in good sex. If you meet them and you're chit-chatting and the chemistry's not there and you don't think it's going to be good, don't do it just to appease the other person. Only do it if you are actually interested. Communicate. Have you been tested? Are you seeing other people? Are you going to jeopardize my sexual health? Things like that. Like, I feel like people participate in hookup culture when they want to harden themselves to the world, and they're maybe like an anti-lover girl. But it's okay to be a lover girl and also participate in that kind of behavior. You just have to approach it from a different perspective. You have to approach it from a, what is it doing for me perspective? Am I really gaining anything from this? Is this person really fucking worth it? And if they're not, it's really not worth participating in. I feel like a lot of hookup culture nowadays is, I need to do it. I need to go. I need to have as many experiences as I can. But that's going to honestly give you a lot of really bad experiences if you just say yes to every single sexual situation. I think it's okay to say no, and actually encouraged to say no every once in a while. In fact, probably most of the time. Because you're going to spend a lot of time with really lame men if your only goal is to kind of hoe around, as one says. But if you want to feel that sexual liberation, you want to go and you want to have fun, go for it, girl. Protect yourself, stay safe, only do it with people you can trust and you're going to have a good fucking time with, period. I live in a really busy street, and every time my boyfriend drives by when he's out and about like running errands or whatever, he'll always like honk crazy so he can like say hi or whatever, and he just flew by and was like beep 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 beep. Anyways, being in a relationship, something that I've learned going on, literally last night we were laying in bed and he looked over at me and speaking of, he just texted me. He said, damn sexy, you looking fine as fuck in your chair. The way you can see in here is scary. Anyways, we were laying in bed last night. I was so exhausted. I was just like, I had worked so much this week. And he looked over at me and goes, I love you so much. Can you believe we've been together for almost 4 years now? Isn't that crazy? Like, that's how long we've been together. Insane. I think we're going to go out to dinner this week and just celebrate, you know what I mean? We don't really have an anniversary because we were in like kind of a what are we do I want to be friends? We're kind of on weird points in our life. We're trying to focus on ourselves, and then you kind of get caught up in a relationship sometimes, and that is sometimes the best way a relationship can start. I think a big key factor in that is also just like wanting to be in one. Do you know what I mean? Like sometimes you can want to be in one, but you can still question like, is this the right time? But listen, if you're not wanted, do not stay, period. But a big part about being in a relationship, I've realized, is picking up where the other person kind of left off. Or maybe you guys live two very different lives, but you come together and you can live a life together. Like you guys fit together like puzzle pieces in that sort of sense. One of those ways, which is really small, but it's what he's doing right now, is I hate the grocery store. I fucking talk about pet peeves. Showing up late to the grocery store. I hate the grocery store because where I live, I shop like in the morning/afternoons, which is when the Xanax mommies are out shopping. The Xanax mommies who take over the fucking Trader Joe's and then just leave their cart in the middle of the fucking aisle. And then when you're trying to get around them, they just stare at you like slack jaw, wide-eyed, like, oh my god, I'm not the only person in this fucking grocery store. Like, yeah, bitch, fucking move your cart. You're Xanaxed out, I'm not, okay? I gotta fucking get out of here. I'm like overstimulated. I hate the grocery store. So he does the grocery shopping. I'm like, I'll make the list, I'll plan the meals, because I'm a little bit controlling like that. Like I love to have like a good dinner at the end of the night. I love to plan meals. I love to cook. I love to make sure like everything is taken care in that sort of sense, and he hates that stuff. I mean, cooking loves stuff like that. He'll come up with meal ideas, but you know, that's not like number one priority for him, but it is for me. So I'll send him to do the grocery shopping. And look at what he came home with. Look at these gorgeous tulips. He was like, they reminded me of you, and it's spring, and we need some flowers around the house. Aren't they so pretty? Anyways, I have a big pot. I'm going to repot them into. I need to do some gardening. It's actually like about to rain. I was going to do gardening today, but I got these like, my landlord dropped off these like railing flower planters that I want to do some gardening with and plant some flowers and kind of bring life to my apartment. That's kind of how I'm celebrating spring upcoming. But aren't they so cute? He's so sweet. Someone said, how do I build credit? I love how I'm like, girl talk, and it's like, how do I build credit? Something I'm figuring out right now, because I was so scared to take out credit cards. My parents really put the fear of credit cards into me, which honestly is probably for the best. They didn't really have any like bad credit experiences. They just didn't want me to have any bad credit experiences. But now I'm like 24, and it's like, I have no credit, ? I mean, you will build credit through like maybe student loans, as long as you make regular payments, full payments on those, that'll help build credit. Having an apartment and paying rent on time every single time will help you build credit. That's an obvious one that maybe you don't really think about. But also, whatever like bank you have, usually they will give you a credit card. Now, do not ever put unnecessary items on this credit card. I do not believe in maxing out a credit card on all of your fucking finances. I only put my gas on my credit card, and then I also do it through my bank, so I don't have to manage two different apps, because I feel like when I was thinking about taking out a credit card, I was like, well, having to go into a new app and make a new payment, which just auto bill pay everything, honestly, so you never forget. But I feel like it's kind of like out of sight, out of mind in that sort of sense. So I just took one out through my local bank, and now it's on my app. I can see it directly under my checking and savings or whatever. And I only put my gas on there, so it's a little bit of money going on there, but it just shows that I'm active and I can healthily use a credit card. It's not about maxing it out. It's not about anything like that. It's just showing that you can pay bills on time. That's literally all credit is. But yeah, shout out to my parents for putting the fear of God into me for credit cards, because I know if they never taught me about it, I know I'd be 17 like taking out a credit card and just maxing that bitch. And I see all these TikToks of people like giving their credit history, and they're in so much fucking debt, and that is so scary to me. The one thing you need to be scared of in this life is debt. Okay, I wish I was more afraid of debt when I took out student loans. That's a different topic, but you don't need debt. Okay, you do not need to be stuck in a financial situation like that. So protect yourself while you're young, but credit is important. It can come from many different places. Just don't overmax that, and I would say just like with your finances, be the most careful you possibly can be. That is my best advice. I'm not like a gambler when it comes to my finances. I feel like that will never work out for me. Stick to the facts. Be careful. Do your best. Period. Was asked on 2 dates with 2 different guys, is it wrong to casually get to know 2 people at once? I don't think that's wrong, unless you're like fully entertaining, like obsessed with someone else. I say if your options are open, then take as many opportunities as you can. You know what I mean? I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think what makes it wrong are the situations where it's like, I'm going to rank the guys I'm dating and I'm going to protect myself. So I'm just going to date as many people as I possibly can and never commit because love isn't real, like blah, blah, blah. I think that's unhealthy. But if the universe just lined up 2 different men and they want to take you on dates, then sure. I don't think there's really anything wrong with that. People think they can escape heartache, but avoiding it at all cost is itself a form of heartache. Do you know what I mean? Anyways, roster, talk about hardening your heart and stepping away from love. The universe lining up 2 men and giving you an opportunity, I think that's healthy. That's okay. Go for it. Man that can't communicate clearly but is so hot in a Lana Del Rey older man type of way. Girl, you're dating a man child and he is only around you so he can literally suck the life force out of you. He's a lame man and he has no personality, so he's attaching himself onto younger people that he can use and abuse and suck the life force out of and personality out of until he feels like he's gotten enough from it and he can step away from you. Anyways, spring break is here and I'm craving a feral night to let out my inner gremlins. This is a real thing, especially as a reformed party girl who I felt like held herself back for so long, and then I went on a 2-year bender. Like, it's okay to have a night to go crazy. That is healthy. Now, when it's every single night, that's when it becomes unhealthy. Do you see what I'm saying? That's when it's called binge drinking. But every once in a while, to let your inner gremlins out, it's healthy. It's real. And as a reformed party girl, it's the way I sustain myself and still function as a human being without falling into another bender. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I felt like when I was younger, I held myself back. And then I was like, oh my God, the world is opening up to me. I'm going to go crazy and I'm going to do every drug imaginable for the next 625 days. And then you're like, whoa, I'm burned the fuck out. I'm not going to do anything again. And then it's a cycle. I think the healthiest thing you can do, especially being a young person who's going to fucking go out and have a good time, is just like every once in a while. For me personally, as I've gotten older, I feel like that's like once a month for me, honestly. At this point, probably less, just because I'm so tired. But when I was younger, maybe it was like once a week, once every other week. Now it's once a month. You have to let those goblins out. You got to let those gremlins free. You got to let yourself get crazy, indulge in the unseriousness of life. Do you know what I mean? I feel like that is healthy People who don't do that, you end up like going crazy at some point. So do it healthily, you know, plan it out if you can. Being an adult is planning the days you're going to black out, like writing them onto your calendar. A lot of you guys are just sending me questions, and it's actually realizations that probably eclipse season and Mercury retrograde are showing you that you need to break up with your boyfriend. Another one being, I haven't heard from my boyfriend in 2 days after he was upset about something I did. Help. That man doesn't care about you. He's emotionally torturing you. And he knows he is by his lack of communication. And I know this because my mother used to do this to me when I was young. She'd get mad at me and wouldn't talk to me for a week. Talk about trauma. You don't need that from a boy, especially one that you can fucking leave. So run.
Hey Hannah, first of all, I wanted to say, hey, how are you doing? And I love your podcast. It genuinely makes me so happy. And it's like a how-to guide from like the big sister that I wish I had. And it just means a lot. Like, you truly are so fucking inspiring.
Stop.
And whenever you're feeling low or you're not really feeling the best, just think about how many people in their lives that like you're touching and genuinely making an impact on. But I wanted some advice on how to kind of feel whole again after a breakup, especially a long-term one. The one I got out of was 2 years long, and let's just say I got done dirty. He wouldn't change any of his behaviors that he knew hurt my feelings. I was carrying the relationship on my back, and he just diminished me, made me feel small. Thank you for any advice. I appreciate it so much.
Period. Men be evil, but you're free. You're free. You're finally free from the evils of the world. So go out there. When I was in a relationship very similar to yours, where I felt like I was being completely held back and isolated from the world, this is one thing that I did, and I feel like it's a really, really great, because I feel like a lot of women have relationships with really bad men, and they want to isolate us and lock us in a closet and have us be little pets for them. So if you ever find yourself in a relationship and all of a sudden you find yourself free from that relationship, this is my number one advice. You need to make a breakup bucket list. And this breakup bucket list is basically going to consist of a bunch of things that you were not allowed to do in the relationship or felt like you couldn't do in the relationship, but now that you're out of it, you can, because fuck him. Do you know what I mean? So it was like, maybe it's like, I'm going to go out to a bar because he didn't let me go out. Maybe it's like I don't know. You know, it could be anything. Whatever you felt uncomfortable doing in that past relationship or things that you felt like he was holding you back from, go do them. Make at least a list of like 5 to 10 things, and then like involve your friends. Like, fucking have a good time. Go out, do it, experience life. You deserve it. You should not be held back from the world. And I'm so sorry. Listen, sometimes we lose ourselves in people, and that's you. You didn't lose any time because you did learn something from it, and you know what you don't like now. But now it's your responsibility and your job to lean into yourself, to accomplish everything you wanted to accomplish, to not let anybody else hold you back, and to just grow and be that beautiful person that you deserve to be, because you are deserving of it. But yeah, the breakup bucket list. I created one of those right out of my last relationship, and I felt like it was kind of a speed track to healing. You know, it was like, okay, I just got to get everything done on this list, and then, which I kind of did within the first week, and then I was like, okay, I feel like a full human being now. I feel like I got everything off my chest. I'm good. I'm learning who I am. I'm taking advantage of life again. I'm living life again. Let's get into it. Do you know what I mean? Anyways, I love you. Thank you so much for your kind words. Congratulations on your breakup. Sounds like you're up. Okay. Go live life. Anyways, I think that's it for the podcast, you guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. Thank you for submitting all your questions. Sounds like we're all kind of feeding off this spring energy. Remember to keep your head on straight as best as you can during this Mercury retrograde. Really, all we can do during this time is try our best and stay patient. Indulge in some self-healing behaviors as well. And self-healing behaviors can be hard, of course, if we're not used to it, or if we're not used to prioritizing ourselves, but it's definitely something that the universe wants us to lean into. So with that being said, I love you all so very much. Thank you for being here, and thank you for being the hot, sexy, beautiful people that you are. If you want to see more from me, follow the Instagram at Hannah Marlene. That's where I post questions, call-ins, things like that. Just stay up to date with my life. I've been posting a lot of fun content there. I posted some spring outfit inspo. I'm posting a cooking reel again this week. You guys have really been enjoying that, and I've been having a great time because I love making food, and you guys love seeing my recipes apparently because they're all great munchy food. So I'll be posting some more of those. I post consistently on the Patreon. We have a lot of fun new content coming up because it is a new month. Got a lot of new month things to catch up with. I usually post like a tarot reading for the month. I'll post like some rituals for the month. I'll post like our book club book for the month, things like that. Monday manifestation, Sunday journal prompts, and we'll do extra video content every single Thursday on the Patreon. I believe this week will be just like a chit-chatting and cooking episode. I'm also doing Patreon only questions on there as well, and patreon.com/smokesetshoddy. Come join the Patreon club. It'll be fun. If not, follow the Instagram to stay up to date. And yeah, thank you just for listening to this podcast and showing up for me every single week. Not only showing up for me, but showing up for yourself, putting yourself out there, and saying yes to the universe every time it asks you what direction you want to take. Take the positive one. Do you know what I mean? Take the high road. Always, especially during this Mercury retrograde season. Sometimes, especially during this time, best to keep your mouth closed if you don't have anything good to say. With that being said, I love you all so much. Have a safe, sexy, beautiful week, and I'll see you all on next Tuesday. Mwah.